Good morning. There's an old joke that says, "Why did the chicken cross the road?" What is it? The answer? To get to the other side. It's an old joke. It's not that funny. But I have a new one for you. Why did the chicken cross the playground? To get to the other slide. I know, it's not that funny either, but today is going to be really interesting because I brought a chicken to show you something very important. So let's bring that chicken in right away. I asked the chicken, "Do you want to go to church today?" And the chicken said, "No." Well, I told the chicken, I said, "Don't be a chicken." And the chicken said, "That joke, that's not a funny yoke." All right, I messed it up. There it is. Her name is Lacey. Thanks, gentlemen, for helping me with this. And she is in chicken jail. This crate is literally a chicken jail. You see, Lacey is brooding. And brooding means that she lays on her eggs trying to make some chicks. It's just natural for her. She wants to do it. It's just the thing that she does. But the eggs that she's laying on are not fertilized, so the eggs will never make chicks. So it's just never going to work. Plus, we took the eggs away from the nesting box. And what did Lacey still do? She's still brooding. She's still in there because she wants to. It feels good. It's right for her. God made her that way. But because of the circumstances, Lacey was being harmed by brooding. She wasn't eating. She wasn't going outside. She was getting kind of weaker. And so we had to intervene and take her out of her chicken nesting box and put her in a chicken jail. Chicken jail. So it seems kind of harsh. There's no straw or hay. There's no eggs. There's nothing. And if the chicken is stubborn, you have to do this for up to 2 weeks to put her in chicken jail. Well, thankfully, Lacey was cooperative, and it took about 3 days for her to stop brooding. At least we think she stopped brooding. So when she goes home, she doesn't have to be in chicken jail. Isn't that right, Lacey? Well, sometimes you and me and all of us here do things because it's just, we think the right thing to do. God made us that way. It feels right. It's natural. And we do them. But because of the circumstances, because of our story in life, it's just not the right thing to do. Is there anything wrong with brooding? No, but because of the circumstances, it's just going to hurt more than help. So sometimes God has to intervene and help us to stop that by putting us in chicken jail. Who wants to go to chicken jail? No one. I know, I don't either. Sometimes kids, it feels good and right, for example, to play, right? Is it good to play? It is good to play, isn't it? Did God make you to play? Oh, yeah. Yeah. But sometimes, do you think it's important to sit still and be quiet? You think sometimes it's important to do that? Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's important. So just because you feel like going out and playing, it doesn't mean it's helpful because of the circumstances. Because maybe you're in church or you're in a classroom or you're in another big group and it's time to sit down and be quiet. Now, sometimes you might have to put yourself in chicken jail if you just can't help yourself, so you can learn to be quiet. Now, sometimes when you grow up, Or as you grow up, and some of the other grown-up kids here, they'll say, I like to get a girlfriend or a boyfriend. And sometimes they get too involved physically. Well, God made me that way. It feels right and good, and God made me that way. Okay, is brooding wrong? No. But because of the circumstances, is it helping Lacey or hurting her to brood? Yeah, it's just not the right time in life to do those kind of things. You might have to ask God to put you in chicken jail if you're having those problems. Or maybe for adults, for the grown-ups, like myself, maybe I want to go get a newer watch. Do you like my watch? It's a nice Casio. Or I might want to get a newer car. Is there anything wrong with a new car? No. Is it right and good to get something new? Yeah, it is. But maybe because of the circumstances, it's just not the right time to do it, and you have to know. You might have to put yourself in where? Chicken jail. Who wants to go to chicken jail? Not a soul. All right. Well, what would be the prayer for a chicken today, since we're talking about prayer? What would be a few prayers for the chicken? Well, one prayer might be, help my owners not to be meat eaters. Help them to be vegetarian. That's a good prayer. How about, since you're in church, Lacey, help the hawks and the raccoons and the bobcats to stay away? Yeah, that's a good prayer. Now, here's another prayer. I had to bring it up so I don't say it incorrectly. Here's a prayer for the chicken and for the rest of us. It goes like this. You might recognize it. It says, Lord, when I get put in chicken jail, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. What kind of prayer is that? It's a serenity prayer. Thank you. Thank you. Is that an excellent prayer? Yes, it is. Kids, you may go back to your seats.